Hey guys, how's it going? M Gaming here, and today we're back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about Ratchet and Clank. This is my full review. This is my scored review with is it worth its asking price sort of thing. So yeah, I'm really excited to do this. But before we get into this, I just want to say I've got quite a few videos coming up soon, so don't think I'm being lazy. The last few days I've had problems with my PS4 logging me out of YouTube and problems with uploading, so I haven't been not trying to upload. It's just I'm having problems, so I do apologise about this. Hopefully this gets out there to you. But let's get into this review. So I've been playing this pretty much non-stop since it downloaded. um, I mean, it's just so good. It really is so good. um, I've got to try and put a review as or I'm not professional reviewer or anything, but like I got to try and review this, and it's difficult because it's just so good. I can't find really any flaws with it, and I really have tried to look. So I found two flaws that aren't my personal thing. I didn't have a problem with it, but I've seen a few people complain about it, so I had to put it in the video because I had to find something. So first of all, the 30 frames per second. So yeah, apparently everything but cracking time was 60 frames per second. So some people were a little bit annoyed it wasn't that locked 60 frames per second. For me, I mean, it didn't bother me because there was very few frame rate drops at all. There probably definitely would have been if it was 60, or we'd have to nerf the graphics and it wouldn't have looked as good, and I don't want that. It's just too good of a game to nerf the graphics, man, in this. And the second thing, and I think some people liked it, I liked it, some people didn't like it, so I'm going to have to put it in there, and that is the change up in story. Yes, if you didn't know, the original Ratchet and Clank, at the start, Ratchet and Clank kind of hate each other. It's never really explained why they hate each other, but they do. They've changed that in this story where, Clank is saved by Ratchet, and they're just friends straight off the bat. So uh, some people didn't like that. I'm going to put it in there as a possible negative, but to me, I liked it. So on that note, let's talk about the story. Well, of course, this is not story, orientated game. This is not, a Last of Us or anything like that. But it certainly has a very funny story. I will say that it's one of the funniest games I have ever played. The writing in this is genius. It's genius. It's not just the writing. If the writing's funny and it's not executed by the actors, then it's terrible. If it's not timed right, it's terrible. And it's hard enough to do that in like an hour, 2 hour movie, but then to throw it into a 10 to 12 hour game, it's just incredible. I never stopped smiling through the whole time I played this game. It was so fun. It was so funny as well. The main story is really funny, but just walking around, doing the hoverboard, the fake advertisements they've got there, the way Captain Quirk tells the story. If you're getting a little bit lost, some of the puzzles are a little bit difficult in the game. Not mega difficult, but I struggle with them because I'm not great with puzzles. He'll say like, he'll put like a witty remark in there or something, and it's really funny, really well done. So yeah, it's not the most, deep story ever, you know what I mean? But it's definitely a funny story. It's definitely a story you're going to be smiling from the first hour you play right until the last, and I think that speaks volumes for the game in general. But let's talk about performance now, because I talked about the frame rate, but let's talk about the performance. Through the whole, I've got to have put 12 to 13 hours in. Bear in mind, a lot of exploring, a lot of trying to get some trophies, a lot of just taking screenshots because it's so beautiful. So a lot of that going on. I had about 2 frame rate drops through the whole game, and you've just seen there, look how many enemies were on the screen and still are. There's a guy there, just telepathopus trying to shoot at me. There's enemies on the floor. There's just enemies everywhere in this game. So to have a solid, even though it's not 60, a solid frame rate at all, You've got to take your hat off and say, well done to Insomniac with the level of detail and graphics and all that good stuff. But let's talk about the graphics, the you know, how good this game looks, because I have to talk about this, guys. This, and I'm going to say it, I've said it a few times, maybe on Twitter or whatever, but I have to say it in my full review. This is, in my opinion, now it's not fact or whatever, you're well entitled to your opinion. I completely respect that. But this is the best looking next generation game I have ever played. Xbox One, Nintendo, PlayStation 4. I have never played a game that looks as good as this. Star Wars Battlefront, beautiful game. In my opinion, not as good as this. The Order 1886, beautiful game. It's not as good looking as this, in my opinion. And you're entitled to your opinion, obviously let me know. With the level of detail on the character models and the background, as well as the vibrant colour palettes they use a lot of, not normal, like, they use vibrant greens instead of just a grass looking green. It doesn't look realistic because it's not meant to, but it makes the environment look brighter. It makes it stand out, and I think it looks incredibly beautiful. Everywhere you go in this, there's different lightings as well. So you go to an ice planet, and it's, an ice planet would be white and blue, but they make it blue and white and purple, and the way they mix it together looks incredible. You've got planets that are, fire planets, so it'll be orange and yellow and red, and brown mixed in there, and it does look amazing. Every single planet I've been on, this planet that I'm on, the water, like the way the water looks and everything looks incredible, in my opinion, really does. And like I said in my first impressions, the best thing I can say about this game is it looks better than I thought it did when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, you think everything looks great when you're a kid, you play it 10 years later, you realise how wrong you were. And this is better than I thought it looked, and that's incredible. To me anyway. But let's talk a little bit about the weapons, because Insomniac in general, with all their games, are famous for outlandish, funny, weird weapons, and this game is certainly no doubt. In fact, I think this has the best guns in any Insomniac game. It has got just such weird guns. Like, why would you choose this? But it's perfect for the game. The Groovatron. I can throw that at a boss. I can throw it at a helicopter. I can throw it at a tentacle. I can throw it at fish. I can throw it at anything in this game, and it will dance. And that's really funny. Like, I cannot stop doing it. Like, it got so bad, it was like an addiction. I had to put it away. I was running out of Groovatron ammo all the time because I just kept throwing it at stuff to watch it dance. And the thing is, it's meant to be used as a tactical advantage. The whole point of them dancing is to stop them from shooting at you, so you can shoot at them while they're not dancing. As well as when you upgrade it, it does damage and all that good stuff. But me, I literally just sat there and watched them dance. So completely defeated the whole point of having the Groovatron. There was no point in me having it, and I still used it all the time. So yeah, that gun was amazing. Then you have the Sheepinator that literally turns enemies into sheep. It's just weird, man. I remember I was using the Sheepinator in the game, and it was a trophy I didn't even know. I was shooting a helicopter, and it turned the driver of the helicopter into a sheep. Why? Who would think of that? Well, Insomniac, obviously, but that was just so funny, and it was really good. It was really funny to watch, and the different weapons. And I will say this: even the most boring weapons or the starter weapons in the game, you want to use simply because it gives you an incentive to upgrade them, to make them overpowered, and so I'm using guns that I don't want to use simply because I want to see how powerful I can make this. And that little smooth intro. Let's talk about New Game Plus. Does this game give you a reason to go back and play it a second time, or is it a 10 to 12 hour experience that is great but it was short? This game gives you absolutely a reason to go back and play it. Challenge mode is such a great, it's such fun, and because especially if you get all the gold bolts, you can play through challenge mode dressed as the Snaggle Beast, or you can dress as a T-Rex, or you can dress as one of the game developers, there's literally a head of a game developer in the game. Why? I don't know, but there is, and it's amazing. Um, you can dress as Captain Quirk, or I mean, it's crazy. You can change the color of his ships and everything. Um, and you can get the Rhino. And now the Rhino is just the greatest gun in any game ever because it just shoots out missiles, but it shoots out about 20 of them at one time. So it's shooting out these 20 missiles into an enemy, right, taking out all the enemies around you without a problem. But it not only does that, it's not only an overpowered weapon that is awesome and looks great, it also it also plays music every time it shoots out. I mean, who thought of that gun? I'm glad they did. I'd shake the hand because it's so fun, just to play with, in the game. So, uh, on top of that, you got you, you got the Rhino, but you get the Rhino from using 9 cards that you find in holo packs around the game. There's guides for it. I didn't use a guide. I just found them because I was just searching the areas. Um, but with the Rhino, you can also then use 1,000,000 bolts, which you'd have to get in New Game Plus or whatever, or Challenge Mode. Uh, you can make it just even beefier, even stronger, even more to upgrade, and it's just it's just amazing in my opinion. As well as different holo cards that give you upgrades and different weapons as well. Tons of reasons to go back, tons of reasons to play, and it's not that hard of a platinum, even though the hoverboard courses are a little bit annoying. With all that being said, all this positivity and praise, what's my final score on this game? It's going to be my second on this channel of this score, but it's very well justified. Absolutely 10 out of 10. It's nothing in life perfect. This is the closest thing you're going to get in a video game to me. I've told you guys, Jack, Sly Cooper, you know, Crash Bandicoot. Can't believe I almost forgot Crash's name there. But with all these games, these are the games I grew up on. They're to me the perfect genre, even though you might think it's third-person action because my 2 favourite games are The Last of Us and Uncharted. But that being said, I love third-person platformer kiddie games. I just love them. I do love them, and we don't get enough of them. So yeah, absolutely 10 out of 10, and it's well done, and I can't wait for the movie. But, and this may surprise you, what I'm about to say, is it worth the £22 on Amazon, I believe, when I looked, you can get it for? Is it worth that? Well, you might be surprised with a 10 out of 10 score. Absolutely, it's 100% worth. It's worth more than that. In my opinion, it should have been priced at a AAA game. It should have been in the US $60, about £45 in the UK. That should have been the price, and I wouldn't have felt cheated at that price. At this price, it's an absolute bargain. I'd recommend every one of my friends, everyone I know, please give it a go. If you just want to have a laugh, you want to have fun, you don't want to take a game serious all the time, this is the game for you, in my opinion. And I will say this, I said, and Bloodborne is the big reason to own a PS4. I could understand that, some people, it ain't their game, it's a little bit too difficult. The world's a little bit weird and whatnot, or whatever. I completely understand and respect that. But this is absolutely the game for everyone in your family. So if you've got a sister or a daughter or a son or a brother or whatever who's younger than you get them a PS4 with Ratchet and Clank, and they're gonna smile all the time while playing it. There's no rude stuff in it. There's no blood, gore, violence, and all that sort of stuff. Just a good, fun story and a lot to do in it. But it's a game for everyone in the family, so I 100% recommend it to everyone who hasn't got a PS4 or whatever, or is just looking for a game to play, who is a gamer, who doesn't want the same old stuff. They want something a little bit different. This is the game, so absolutely worth the price. If anything, it's a little bit too cheap because, like I said, I'm a little bit worried. Are Insomniac going to eat it a little bit on this game because it's too cheap? I hope not. It's definitely done well in terms of sales, but we'll see. But I'm rambling now, guys. Let me know, what do you think of the review? Are you excited for some of the question videos I've got coming up? Let me know all that good stuff down below. And let me know, have you got Ratchet and Clank? Is it a game you are interested in, you want to play? Obviously, let me know on Twitter, on here, wherever you want to let me know. And as always, guys, this has been M&M Gaming. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. And I'll catch you guys in a new video very soon.